Hey everyone, and welcome. So in this explainer, we're going to do something pretty cool. We're going to take a simple everyday review and turn it into something that will absolutely blow away any examiner. You ready? Let's get into it. Okay, take a look at this. Does this seem a little familiar? I bet it does. Look, it gets the main points across, right? But let's be real. This isn't going to get you a top score. It's just too basic, it's missing any real detail, and honestly, the words are kind of boring. But don't worry, we're about to fix all of that. So here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll figure out exactly what's wrong with that simple draft. Then we're going to give our words and our writing style a serious upgrade. After that, we'll learn how to add the kind of detail and flow that examiners just love to see. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a checklist you can use every single time.
All right, part one. Let's make your writing really pop. We're going to tackle two of the biggest and most common mistakes that students make, things that can really cost your marks, your word choice and your writing style. You know, this right here is probably the #1 trap, when you lean on words like good or nice or bad over and over again. It basically tells the examiner that you've got a pretty limited vocabulary. It just makes your writing feel flat and it keeps your score down. And just look at the difference here. It's immediate. Just by swapping out good for delicious and nice for welcoming, the sentence is suddenly alive. It's way more descriptive, it paints a picture, and it sounds so much more impressive. Now, style is, well, it's everything. You have to know your audience. You're writing for something like a school magazine, right? You're not just texting a friend, but you're also not writing a legal document. Finding that perfect semi-formal balance is the key to sounding credible and smart. And this really shows you what I mean. Oh my God, the food was awesome! Yeah, that's way too casual. But then, the aforementioned establishment is just way too stuffy and formal. That just right tone is the sweet spot. It's friendly, it's clear, but it's still well-written and professional. Okay, so we've got some better words in our toolbox now. Let's add the next layer, which is all about specific details and making your writing smooth and easy to read. This is where your writing really starts to feel rich and convincing. So in an exam, they often give you prompts or ideas to include, and these are great, but they're a starting point, not the whole thing. If you just list them out, it shows zero creativity. You've got to use them as a launchpad to share your own specific examples. You see, this is all about showing, not just telling. Anyone can say the staff was friendly. But if you describe how they were friendly, telling us they remembered your entire order without writing it down, that's a powerful, specific detail that makes your review so much more believable. Connectors are great words, moreover, furthermore, in addition. But, and this is a big but, if you overuse them, your writing starts to sound like a robot. The goal is a natural, smooth flow, not just showing off every single transition word you've ever learned. And here's a little pro tip, especially for those of you taking an exam like the IGCSE. When you move beyond the basics like and but to use words like however or on the other hand, it shows the examiner you can handle more complex ideas and build a really balanced argument. Let's talk punctuation. This isn't just about boring grammar rules. It's all about making yourself clear. These long, rambling sentences with no breaks, they're just exhausting to read. Correct punctuation is your best friend for making your ideas clean, crisp, and super easy to follow. I mean, the difference here is like night and day, right? The first one is just this breathless jumble of ideas all crammed into one sentence. But the second version, just by adding a comma and a period, creates two separate, clear thoughts. It's instantly cleaner and just so much easier to read. All right, we've looked at all the common mistakes and how to fix them. Now, let's pull everything together into one final checklist. Think of this as your guide to making sure every review you write is a top score. Think of this as your final quality check. Before you're done, just run through this. Does it have a good title? Is it structured well? Did I balance the good and the bad? And this is a big one. Did I explain why I have these opinions and end with a really clear recommendation? If you can tick all these boxes, you are in fantastic shape.
Okay, your turn to play. On the screen, you'll see our original problem points. The food was good, the staff were nice, the place was noisy, the price was high. How would you combine these ideas into one high-scoring sentence? Use everything we've talked about. Better words, good connectors, and a nice, balanced thought. Go ahead and pause the explainer and give it a shot.
So, how'd you do? Here's one really strong way you could have written it. Notice the upgraded words, like delicious and welcoming. See how that word however creates that perfect turn, introducing the negative points? And then overall signals that you're about to give your final balanced verdict. This is exactly the kind of writing that gets high marks.
Before we finish up, I've got a little bonus for you. This is a tip that can give you an immediate advantage. Let's load you up with some absolutely fantastic phrases that you can steal for your very next review. So instead of saying a place was just nice, why not try one of these? Maybe the atmosphere was lively and vibrant, or perhaps it was a cozy and intimate setting. Using phrases like a hidden gem instantly makes your writing sound more sophisticated. And when it comes to the food, please, let's forget the word good. Was it rich and flavorful? Was the steak succulent and tender? Or maybe it was just a culinary masterpiece. Having a few of these in your back pocket is a total game changer. And here's the most important takeaway from all of this. You don't have to do everything perfectly all at once. Seriously, just making one or two of these small changes, choosing one better word, adding one smart connector, that can be enough to lift your entire piece of writing to the next level. So, there you have it. You've got the complete toolkit now. My final question for you is this. What are you going to review next? That new coffee shop that opened up? The last movie you saw? The book you just finished? Take these skills out for a spin in the real world. That is how you truly master the art of writing a great review.